today I have a fun little segment that we're going to try out featuring myself and my husband, Frank. Say hi, Frank.
Hellos.
Just playing together, because a family that plays together stays together is what I hear anyway. But we're but we're going to be playing the new season. I believe it's season 5 of Diablo, and it's a very repetitive and monotonous game, so I have a few topics that we're just going to be jabbering about, and this is just a relaxed recording that we're just gonna play, have fun, have a chit-chat. It's something that you can put in the background while you do something else as well, so hope you like it. Let's get started. Now, I'm a witch doctor, and we actually play tested this a little bit. We got to level 20 yesterday. My witch doctor's name is Dr. Cray, and for those of you that don't know Diablo, it's a Blizzard game, and it's like a dungeon crawler, and it's all about killing and looting and making your character more of a badass by just replacing gear with better gear throughout the time frame that you're playing. And Frank is playing a barbarian, so he's going to be our tank, and we're just going to kill stuff. Is that cool?
Totally cool with me.
Alright, cool. So this new season, there's been 4 previous seasons. There was the base game with all the different worlds and stuff, and then I don't know if Blizzard's ever done this before, but then they saw that the community was getting kind of bored with the same storyboarding and everything, and they started changing up the game a little bit. They did what they call bounties, which it moves you out of storyboard and into, like, what would you call bounties? More like quick runs of sorts?
Kind of. I think they wanted originally you had to play this game over and over and over in a particular order, just on harder and harder difficulties. And so after a while it got kind of boring and you're playing the same content over and over and over. So they wanted to mix it up a little bit, and they created the bounty system. Well, they created adventure mode, which let you kind of just jump to any of the 4 at the time boards. And then they added bounties, which gave you a reason to kind of go do some quests, if you will, in like 4 or 5 locations. And once you were able to do those quests, and you got a special reward. So later on they ended up adding rifts, which we'll probably try and run some tonight. But an internally generated dungeon that you just clear for in hopes of getting some goodies at the end.
Yay, I like goodies. Yeah, so they made it more and more interesting for players to come back and play, and Seasons is part of it. And Seasons, basically, you start with a brand new character from scratch. You don't get to share the money or the loot or anything with any of their characters unless they are a seasonal character. And some of the new things that they've added to Seasons is they've added a new zone, they've expanded some areas, they've revamped some of the set items, the actual like gear that you wear. They have new features in the dungeons, new set gear, some better rifts, some new legendaries, which I'm super excited about. They revised our interface, which I'm interested in seeing. I actually, quite honestly, didn't pay attention yesterday, so I don't know what the new UI. Oh, I think they stack your buffs now that I remember. Am I right?
Yep.
So more stash space, which I thought you unlocked that, or do they automatically give you more stash space?
They give you the ability to unlock 1 extra tab.
Oh, nice. All right. And then I think pretty much at a high level that is it. So honestly, the game, like I said, you're gonna see us just killing stuff, and it'll look like a lot of noise on your end, but hopefully we'll keep you entertained with our conversation. So what do you want to do first, Frank?
I think we're gonna try and see if we can unlock Kanye's cube. Kanye's cube.
Kanye West's cube. Alright. So
I'm
do we
not a
have to
cave.
do something for that?
Just talk to Zoltan there, and then
He gave me a book, Revival.
Yep.
Amen.
And then we're gonna go to GREYHOLLOW Island, which is part of our bounties for this map, and or no, GREYHOLLOW is brand new. I think we would have to go to what is it?
Do you want to go there first, or where do we want to go first?
I think we want to go there first, but I was thinking,
Yay! He lives once more. Meh.
Right.
You did a sloppy job. Well, thanks a lot, mister. See if I can get you again.
Alright, so let's go to GREYHOLLOW and see what
Yay!
happens.
Oh, yay! So we get to show a new area. That's so exciting.
Yep. This will be interesting.
Oh, right off the bat, we have a dead person.
And a quest.
Do not believe the legends. All this island rots you from the within. We never should have come here. No, we probably should never have come here.
But we did.
Oh, let me get my dogs out. Who let the dogs out?
Well, they did a nice job with the trees and such.
Yeah. Oh. Okay. Ooh, these trees are like much bigger.
Chesticle?
Yeah, I like
Ooh,
my chest.
legendary.
Already?
Ooh, yeah, real
What'd you get?
dogs. I don't know, I haven't clicked on it yet.
Real dogs. And, ooh, slimy back people. I think that monster had an STD. He had pus all over himself.
Whoa, the hell is this?
Oh, I don't... Ooh, he had spiny thingies. Here, take that.
That was interesting.
Yeah, what was that?
I don't know. It
was weird.
reminds me of the, was it Act 3 where you go across the bridge and those things like to pop up and...
Oh, here's some more
spit
spiny
out.
thingies. They spew things from their back, which is really gross.
Like porcupines.
Yeah. Get my gargantuan out and have him... Ooh. So many bad guys all at once.
Makes me wish I had some real gear.
I know, right? Is this, well, I just turned 21. I'm legal and I can drink now.
That sounds like a plan.
These spiny thingies are so gross. I keep saying spiny things, but they're like pussy. Oh, and these are the new... like yetis.
Oh yeah, I
The
forget
new,
what
the
they're
new
called.
dark yetis. So... Are they called silverbacks? I don't know what they're called, quite honestly.
I don't know, but I immediately wish I did more damage.
Me too! I feel like I have things in my bag, but I don't have time to like look, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's the price of leveling, right?
Mm-hmm. My gargantuan is at least helping out the,
Oh, we got
helping in
the
the fray.
bonus though.
Did we?
Just in the nicks of the times.
Oh, that's good. I feel like I'm not doing any damage at all, like...
Yeah, it's a little haphazard at this stage of the game. I
I'm
got
picking up all of
gems.
I probably got some good gear, but I feel like we're not given enough time to peruse our inventory.
We can always peruse.
Oh, I'll do it later. Maybe now. Let me peruse.
I got a nice helmet. Let's see what this belt was.
Ooh, nice boots. They're made for walking. Ooh. Yes, give me that two-handed staff because it's so much better, oh my god, than what I was carrying around. I think that's it. I think I'm good. You know what I need? I'm missing. I have an empty slot. A necklace. I don't think we're at the level for it.
They might sell them in town though.
Oh, true. True that. I should be able to do a lot more damage with this new two-hander. Let's see. Oh yeah, much better. I feel like it makes sense now. Some new blue guys. What are these half snake people?
They look snakish.
Snaky snakes.
Oh, leveled again. That's pretty cool. Keep the XP coming.
Yeah, are you... Oh yeah, I did too. I didn't realize I was 22.
This is so much faster than last night.
Oh, I know. We were dumb.
We were so doing it the hard way.
Hey, you don't know what you don't know, right? Even though we should have known better. We've only been playing this for a few years, that's all.
We wanted to try something different. We did.
Yeah, but it was... I like this new board. Maybe it's because it's new and different and fun. With new monsters. Take that. Take my fiery bats.
Give it to him.
My fiery farts. This crab guy isn't new. That's... Oh, I feel so much better about our damage. There's a little... Ooh, necklace! I'm gonna put it right on.
Nice.
Yes. Nice. Ooh! New belt. Ooh, piece of candy. And there's a treasure box here. So Frank and I were talking today about, actually we talked a little bit about it yesterday too, but what we thought the difference between, so we identified that there are definitely at least two types of gamers, and granted, stuff that we talk about, we're not professionals at gaming by any stretch of the imagination. We just play one on TV, but so don't take our word as absolute. It's just our opinion. But we were talking yesterday about let me grab this life, how we can certainly identify two types of gamers at least on a high level, which are the PC gamers and the console gamers, and what the differences were between both of them. And we tend to be more PC gamers, so I feel like we're the type of gamer that we like kind of the open-ended, sandboxy type games. Like I would think this dungeon crawler would like into that, wouldn't you think? Like you do the same thing over and over again.
Yeah, I think it's just progression that you're looking at. Like, we like games where, you know, we can work towards something.
Mm-hmm. I feel like I want to say that the console gamers like a closure, that like resolution, and so for those that play console games, there are more games that are like, okay, you have an ending to your story, where PC gamers for the most part like the MMORPG type games on the PC, and so they're more kind of forever type gamers. I don't know. But you mentioned yesterday that they're also gamers that prefer console gaming because of the hardware.
Yeah, mainly because of, you know, some people just like to play with a controller.
Mm-hmm.
And it's much more natural on a console, typically.
Yeah, I would agree.
So, alright, it looks like we're done here, and we can move on over to BRIARTHORN Cemetery,
Yeah,
I guess.
let's do that.
Next stop on the road here.
I don't think in our generation, though, I mean, I think PC games came out... I don't know, did they? Did PC games come out after console games? Or were PC games here before console games? Well, chicken or the egg question, I guess.
I want to say PC games came first only because there were computers before there were consoles. But I don't think computers were never really designed for entertainment. Originally it was, you know, computational work and high-end mathematics. That was the reason we made computers, and then people started to
and then we perverted the
well, we just found a way to entertain us, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think there's anything wrong with that, but
no, I don't either.
it's just different utilizations of a tool.
As I don't remember, I want to say I remember like my first computer I ever saw was at like one of our middle school classes, and nobody had access to it but like a teacher. The one teacher in the entire building that knew how to work a computer, and there was one game that was kind of like a simulation game where they asked you questions, and dependent on your questions you had like certain outcomes. But it was black and white. It was in a DOS system, you know, like very first computer-y type games. But my first console game that I ever played was Atari, and it wasn't mine. It was a cousin of mine that was gifted an Atari, and I thought they were like the coolest things since sliced bread. What was your first console game?
It's probably NES.
Oh, never heard of that.
Nintendo?
Oh, of course I heard of that.
Yeah, the original Nintendo.
Yeah.
And I remember we paid a fortune for it in 1986. Whatever, 86, 87. But I don't know. Back then, I think we paid close to $200 for the system.
Holy Moses!
Pretty ridiculous for, you know, if you factor in inflation and everything else. But
wow.
My friends had one, or you know, friends of the family had one, and we would always go over there and play it. And then, you know, that we really wanted one. So one year, I think for Christmas-ish, something like that, special occasion, we did all our chores without complaining. I don't know, but my parents ended up buying us one. So.
Oh my goodness. Well, you were pretty cool then.
Oh, yeah. You know, it was interesting. I really enjoyed it. I liked video games a lot at that time, and, you know, parents didn't really quite understand it. It was definitely not something that they were, you know, that they were ever involved in when they were children, so.
Yeah.
Seemed at times like this was a waste of energy or a waste of time, and, you know, now fast forward 25 years and I see what's going on with some of the tech that we have out now. Might as well grab this treasure chest over here.
Are we gonna go in that portal or no?
We are.
Okay.
Yeah, I just figured there was a chest here,
fine.
so.
And a bad guy that we need to kill.
But looking at what they're trying to do with like virtual reality and some of those other things, they're kind of like, I'm starting to feel like the old person that's like, oh, it's just a waste of time.
I don't know. I always said I always wanted to, like even when we played WoW, I was like, ah, I feel like I'm part of this world, you know? It's so cool, and virtual reality would be able to provide that on a whole nother level, you know?
I think there's definitely opportunity there. There's a lot of talk in the tech space about this being the year of virtual reality, and I don't necessarily know if that's the fact, but I think as we refine things, it's definitely going to be a bigger part of our lives. I would much prefer to see augmented reality more so than a closed box virtual reality.
So what's augmented reality?
Something where you are introduced to certain things, but it's not like we end up getting that. We did.
Yeah, we did. Nice.
It's more around, I'm going to present something to you in your current space, versus putting you in a closed-off space. And a good example of that, if that's kind of hard to follow, is the Microsoft HoloLens, where they basically give you a pair of glasses, kind of like Google Glass, and it has the ability to project things in front of you. So if you think about it, you could have just like a floating monitor in front of you. So rather than sitting down at your computer and I have a computer and a monitor so I can view what's on the computer, it would just project it in a relative ratio on your glasses. And it would be like you have a 30-inch monitor or 3 50-inch monitors or whatever. But you can see the monitor, and then you can also see the world around you as it is normal. So it really kind of lays the stuff on top of what you see. And that's more augmented reality, meaning that I am still connected to both worlds. I'm connected to, reality, physical reality as we know it, but then I also have these items or information that's displayed in a way that I can see it and kind of interact with it. And the thought process for me is, if I had, augmented reality, it would be really nice to be able to open up, I could sit down at a desk, just have a computer and run everything through the glasses. You could make whatever size monitor on your glasses that you want. I feel like from a productivity standpoint, and being able to work with something you could use in the office space, right? I think that would be really cool. And
can you imagine? I mean, I don't know what glasses cost, but can you imagine the savings for a company where we don't have to buy flat screens anymore for people?
Right. Of potential value in everyday life.
Yeah.
Versus wearing some helmet that
completely transforms your entire world.
Well, and you can't see outside of that helmet. So if you're sitting in a room wearing virtual reality goggles, well, all you see is what's inside the goggles, and you don't have any awareness or connection to the outside world, the reality.
Well, we were talking about this at breakfast, but what does that mean for the kids that already spend way too much time gaming, if now you're going to literally allow them to be physically part of a world that they're excited about?
I mean, it all comes down to parenting, right?
Yeah.
But I think if you allow somebody to just live in a VR world forever, I think there's going to be some challenges. If you think about some of the fantastical things that we do right now in video games, I mean, we have just a wide variety of anything and everything. Some video games allow us to do things we never thought possible. Other video games actually allow us to do things that are horribly illegal and completely against the respect of our fellow humans.
Right.
Grand Theft Auto comes to mind.
Yes.
And so, what would that be like in a virtual reality? Is that going to start blurring what people feel about, society in general? Is if somebody learns that they can run around and, punch hookers or drive over people, does that eventually become something that it's much easier then to do in real life? Because, I do it in a much more realistic way. Right now we have a disconnect between the user and the entertainment, because there's usually a controller or a keyboard or mouse or something of that nature that still makes it not feel realistic. It may look realistic, but
I think I don't know, I think, and I don't have any facts or statistics or anything, I think we're already at a point where society's moral lines are marred. But I think it'll
not
just
like it was.
No, but I think that'll just definitely give give a person that's already teetering on the lines of morality that extra push, you know?
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you know, are you ready for this?
Yeah, I am.
You know, there's freedom, which most people like freedom in some form or another. But, you know, then there's also, what do we allow people to make decisions on their own, right? And so if you're a respectable person, one would think that you'd be allowed to make those decisions and decide, okay, yeah, I want to play this ultra-violent game or this crazy, messed up, unethical simulator, if you will. But outside of that, there's probably some people that aren't going to benefit from that, and it might be a detriment, in fact. So I don't know. It could bring a new element to society that may already challenge our waning view and respect of each other. And it could cut down on social interaction too, right? I mean, I'm sure.
Oh my gosh, yes, right.
With your friends, but in the same respect, it may end up being a really isolated experience.
I think at that point, though, Frank, sadly, the government might have to step in. Like, I know there's been talk about this before, and you know, the community gamers hate the idea of having government dictate what they can or can't do with their free time, right? But when you're talking about something as detrimental as, you know, skewed morality, though, there has to be some rules put in place, I would think. I mean, I'm not a proponent of it by any stretch of the imagination, but
I think
where do you draw the line, you know?
It's really difficult. Well, we don't draw the line in most cases, and that's the interesting discussion, right? Because more than likely no line will get drawn due to free speech and whatnot. So
yeah.
And so I wouldn't plan on there being a line drawn. It's going to be more, how does society respond to that level of freedom and making those decisions in a reasonable way. You know, good and bad. I mean, that's how everything is nowadays.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
I'm going to pause the recording there and say goodnight. This series, again, is just meant to be a quick look into our thoughts about random gaming topics, or just visual nonsense and random games we choose to play at any given time. If you like the conversation and want to join in, leave us a comment below. We always look forward to those. Stay tuned for our next video in the series as we talk about our favorite games we used to play when we were younger. Until next time, you guys take care, have a great weekend, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye!